أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين وبعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. We are going to talk about Al-Huda Al-Muqtada وحده لا يجب الاهتداء والهدى التام يجب الاهتداء. We did identify two types of al-huda that was in our last class. Al-huda al-muqtada la yujibu al-ihtida wal-huda tam yujibu al-ihtida. Guidance, as we all know it, comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But you can't have it unless you have the interest, unless you are determined. If you don't have the interest, you cannot be guided. You have to be interested. You need to feel that you really need it. All of us are fuqara'u ila Allah ta'ala. As Allah describes us. Ya ayyuhan nasu antumul fuqara'u ila Allah. There's nobody who is not a faqirun ila Allah. In every situation, you need Allah. You are faqirun ila Allah. In every situation. When you are suffering, you need Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Is the one you have to ask to guide you on how to go through this kind of situation. Even when you have wealth, you are faqirun ila Allah. You need Allah to guide you on how to use it. When you have knowledge, you are still faqirun ila Allah. You are in need of Allah to guide you how to apply it. And even when you apply, you are still faqirun ila Allah, because there are so many challenges when it comes to application as well. So Huda guidance is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But there's what you call Al-Huda At-Tam. And this is what Allah likes to have from you. Al-Huda At-Tam. Complete guidance. It's not partial. You choose what to follow in Islam. What is not pleasing to you, you don't follow. Before you embrace Islam, you need to know what are the things you are required to do to be a Muslim. If you are not interested, la ikraha fi din. Nobody is forced to embrace Islam. The first thing is to be informed. Being a Muslim means you have to do the following. If you're not interested, you are not forced. When you accept, you promise Allah, implied in the Shahada. When you say Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, implied in this is the promise. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, fulfill your promise. In many verses, fulfill your promise. You have a promise to Allah that you made before you came into this existence. That one we call it mithaq. The concept used in the Quran to refer to your promise before you came into this life is mithaq. Mithaq. And it's also called ahad. Ahadun is, even the Bible talks about it. The covenant. You had it in your spiritual existence. You promised to Allah. You are here to fulfill the promise. Allah has given you the means to fulfill it. If He did not give you the means, you would have a reason for not fulfilling. So Allah revealed the Quran to us in order to follow it completely. In order to follow the Quran completely, you need to understand the message it conveys, not to understand the meaning of it, to understand the message. And the message has to be extracted by the ulama where it is not explicit. It is to be extracted by the ulama through what we call al-ijtihad. So al-ijtihad is the process of arriving at the rules or the message that is implied, a message which is not explicit in the Quran. So it is through the process we call it ijtihad, where you struggle very hard. It's a mental process. And when you arrive at those rules, you have to follow. You have no option but to follow. So al-huda tammu yujib al-ihtida. And the concept of al-ihtida here, we have two concepts. Al-huda is one concept. So we're trying to understand these concepts. Al-huda is guidance. Al-ihtida is another concept. Al-ihtida. What is al-ihtida? This concept is used to refer to following in the footsteps, being guided by someone. It is not you to choose where to go. You are shown where to go. You walk into the footsteps. The footsteps are already there. The Masai in Kenya and Tanzania, and even the hunters, how do they find their food? When they go to the jungle, they are looking for animals. They will look at the footsteps and the traces. So they are following those footsteps until they'll find it. So the Prophet ﷺ has left those footsteps for you. Taraktukum ala mahajjatil bayda. I have left you on a highway. A highway. Layluha kanahariha. The day and the night are the same. The light is on, day and night. La yazigu anha illa halik. Whoever does not follow will end up in destruction. So al-ihtida is to follow the messenger. Don't be like those who say the messenger brought, those are not Muslims. It is made very clear in the Quran, Surah An-Nisa. Who are the munam alayhim? If I'm going to look for this ayah, it might take some time. But I think it will not take time if that. We still can get to the ayah. It's around 79, 80, somewhere there, Surah An-Nisa. Ma'allazina an'amta alayhim minan nabiyyina was-siddiqin wash-shuhada wa hasuna ulaika rafiqa. Please look for it. Wa hasuna ulaika rafiqa. You can check. Wa hasuna ulaika rafiqa. When you find it, please let us know. So then we can interpret the ayah for us to understand the message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which is conveyed in that ayah. Wa hasuna ulaika rafiqa. Look for the ending, rafiqa. It will be then easier for us. Wa hasuna ulaika rafiqa. When you see, you let me know, because I want to continue explaining. Just look for this. Rafiqa at the end of the verse. There's only one ayah ending with that particular word, Rafiqa. So, 69. 69. So, I think you've seen it. Yes. وَمَنْ يُطِعِ اللَّهَ وَالرَّسُولَ فَأُولَئِكَ مَعَ الَّذِينَ أَنْعَمَ عَلَيْهِمْ مِنَ النَّبِيِّينَ وَالصِّدِّيقِينَ وَالشُّهَدَاءِ وَالصَّالِحِينَ وَحَسُنَ أُولَئِكَ رَفِيقًا. So what does it tell you? Every day, 5 times when we pray, 17 times in our reading of Surah Al-Fatiha, we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to guide us. And we say, Ihdina as-sirata al-mustaqim, sirata alladhina an'amta alayhim. An'amta alayhim, the mun'am alayhim are the ones that Allah is describing here. What is it that will entitle you to being among the mun'am alayhim, the ones Allah has blessed? There are so many blessings. Some people are proud that Allah has blessed them with many children. Some others are proud that Allah has blessed them with, what is it? With wealth. I did mention to you last time that the pride, what, the Arabs were proud of is an-nasab. We talked about it. An-nasab. If you do remember, we talked about this. The Arabs in Jahiliyyah were proud of their an-nasab. What is an-nasab? Yeah, their lineage.
Ancestral lineage, yeah.
So
lineage.
you are a son of who? Who is your dad? What are your grandparents? Are they didn't know? Are they from this country? Are they natives? And being a native is one thing, but are they Quraysh? If they are not Quraysh, you have no respect. You are a Qurashi, yes. You are proud. Even in our time, in some countries, people are proud of, you are from which tribe, which race, Nasab. But before that, the Yahud were proud of what? Not Nasab, but man. Wealth. You have money, yes. You are respected. So that was the main focus at that time. The Ummah to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is proud of what? What is it that is the basis of your pride? Is akhlaq. Akhlaq, which are good. Adin husnul khuluq is your moral values. The behavior, how you behave. Islam is about behavior. How you behave in your salah, how you behave during Hajj, how you behave in every situation. Here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Bimuna alayhim. At the beginning of this verse, you can see that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describes the people who وَمَن يُطِعِ اللَّهَ وَالرَّسُولِ is ta'atullahi wa rasuli. This is what entitles you to this. Ta'atullahi wa rasuli. If you don't have it, you are not among them. Ta'atullahi wa rasulihi. Obedience to Allah and His messenger. What Allah tells you, you do. You don't argue. You try to find a reason for not doing it. You are trying to find a reason for not doing it. You are trying to escape zakah. You know you have to give zakah. There's 1 month more for you to complete al-hawl, 1 year to pay zakah. And then you spend all the money. Yeah, you spend all the money so that you don't pay it. Who is the loser? Who is the loser? Who is the loser? You are the one. If you want to know whether you lose or not, you want to know, you go to Surah Al-Baqarah, the page before the last. You want to know you are the loser or not, go to this page before the last page. The page before that. Maybe it's not this page, but just a minute. Is about riba, but it will not be right here. There is a ayat on riba here, where Allah has forbidden a riba, but there is where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us that what you have given, riba does not lead to increase. I'll give you that ayah later. Riba does not lead to the increase of wealth, because you are getting more, asking for more. What is leading to the increase is zakah. The increase may not be the amount. We all know about inflation. Some countries, like what is the country of Mufti Menk? Zimbabwe. A million, I don't know the name of their currency, but a million buys just an egg, based on what I heard during Mugabe's time. You want to buy just 1 egg, you spend $1 million. Yeah. $1 million to buy an egg. How much you'll spend to buy more than an egg? You are carrying all those currencies with you, but they have no value. In Islam, it is not about the number. You did it 1,000 times, but the way you do it. So the thing here is, it is a zakah which will bring barakah in what you have. Allah will protect you from illnesses that would take your money, the musibah and other things, because you pay zakah. Zakah is for your well-being and your family's well-being, because you pay zakah. You are protected from musibah. Things that would take your money would be prevented by Allah. So then why do you avoid that? Instead, we opted to insurance. So, because they will pay for you. They can pay for you, but you may not recover. Nasalullah al-afiyah. Pay to Allah. Allah will protect you. Is Allah to protect you. It's not your insurance. So zakah is good for you. If you want to be a Muslim, you have to follow everything Al-Huda and don't choose some and the rest you leave. Ta'atullah, being obedient to Allah wa Rasul and his messenger. The messenger came to guide you to what is beneficial to you. You have to be obedient to him. Don't be like those who say, we don't have to be obedient to him. Those are not Muslims, as I've said. So when you talk about Huda, guidance, just to remind ourselves, we talked about Al-Awwal, Huda al-Bayan wa Dilala. Huda al-Bayan wa Dilala. I'll write it because not everybody has the book, especially those one here. Huda al-Bayan Al-Bayani wa Al-Dilala. Al-Dilala. Huda, guidance. Al-Bayan, where things are explained to you. Things are clearly explained to you in a way that you are able to comprehend them. You understand them. And we add another word here, wa ta'lim, to make it clear. Bayan, things are made clear to you. There are certain things that may be ambiguous, but things are explicit when explained to you in a language you understand. What dilala? This is clarity. This is also clarity, although the meaning, they are not synonymous. Dilala is like you are guided, you are shown how. It is explained clearly and you are shown how. It's all about application. Is about like, you are shown how to do it. At-ta'lim, acquiring knowledge. Acquiring knowledge is this type of Buddha. If you don't acquire knowledge, you don't have it. So, هدى البيان والدلالة والتعليم ولهذا يقال هدي بما اهتدى. What you study is to guide you. What you study is to guide you. والثاني هدى البيان والدلالة مع إيتاء التوفيق وخلق الإرادة. فهذا الهدى الذي يستلزم الاهتداء ولا يتخلف عنه موجبه. فمتى وجد السبب وانتفت الموانع لازم وجود حكم. If you do remember, we talked about Huda al-Bayan. Dilala, we can just call this number one. And Huda at-Tawfiq. At-Tawfiq, to make it simple. At-Tawfiq, to be granted the ability, success, to put into practice what you have acquired. Our job is to teach. We are not the ones who grant guidance to the people. We can only convey to you the first one, to explain things to you, to make things clear to you, to clear your doubts. What is ambiguous, to make it clear to you. That is our job. We don't have the ability to guide you to apply it. We can teach you how to pray, the benefit of Salah, but we cannot make you guided to do it. It's your own choice. You know, not everybody who knows applies. Not everybody who knows applies. How many things we know which we never apply in our life? The reason is not ignorance. We know the wrong that we commit today are not based on jahal, ignorance of what is right, what is wrong. The wrong we commit today is based on the jahal of not knowing the consequence, the punishment, the nature of it. You think Allah is joking. When he talks about punishment, you think he's joking. You know that Allah does not joke. When you meet him, yeah. When you meet him, you know that Allah does not make jokes. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Nabi ibadi, tell my servants, Anni ana al-ghafurur rahim, I'm the one who forgives. I love to forgive. I forgive. Wa anna azabi wal azabul alim. But my punishment is the most severe. The rahmah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is that if you think about something wrong, you just think about it without doing it, He doesn't punish you. You think about something wrong, you present it to your mind without manifesting it on your tongue or your limbs, you are not punished. That is the rahmah of Allah subhanahu. Number two, if you have intended to commit a wrongdoing, but you end up not doing it, you are not punished for that intention. Here you don't intend. You just enjoy thinking about it. Here you intend to do it and you fail to do it, you are not punished because you did not do it. You did not do it because the means were not available for you to do it. If you had the means, you would do it. Somebody else intended to do it. He has the means to do it, but he remembers Allah and he doesn't do it. Because of Allah, he doesn't do it. He is given a reward of not doing it. Is given a reward of not doing it. Number four, you have done it. You have done it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will order the malaika to write it just as one wrongdoing. One. Somebody else, this is about something good. He thought about it. In his mind, he's thinking about something good. He is appreciated for that, even if he does not manifest on his tongue or lips. If he does get manifested on his tongue, is given 2 rewards. If it is manifested on his limbs, it is given 3. It is the amalu al-qalb. It is the act of the mind recorded. It is the amalul lisan, is the act of the tongue recorded. It is the amalul jawari, is act of the limb, also recorded for him. So how many good deeds has he done? 3. He has a reward of 3 amalul salih. Amalul qalb, amalul lisan, amalul jawari. 3 things. But when he does it, is manifested on his tongue or on his limbs, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will order the malaika to multiply it by a minimum of 10. And the multiplication will continue from 10 to 700 for many people to infinity for some. So the multiplication will go to infinity for just one deed. That is the rahmah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So to infinity, meaning that you can receive infinity reward for any deed, no matter how small it may be. This is the rahmah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the wrongdoing, if I get back to the wrongdoing once again, the wrongdoing can be erased with hasana. If you do something good, the wrongdoing is automatically erased from your book with a good deed, unless it is a shirk billahi ta'ala, or it is a violation of a human right, a right of a human being. It is not erased by Hajj or by Swadaka. You have to go and seek permission So they seek forgiveness from the one whose right has been violated. You need to seek forgiveness. And after he forgives you, you have to seek forgiveness from Allah, because he's the one who forgives. He's the one who forgives. So that is about the wrong, which may be erased with hasana. So another thing is that, of course, the sayyi'at are always more than the kaba'ir. The major sins are fewer compared to the minor sins. That is also rahmah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for us. So most of what we do is sayyi'at, maybe not kaba'ir. So we are protected from the kaba'ir sometimes. So the rahmah of Allah is expansive. If I'm to go into this topic, we need at least 1 hour. So I'm not going to talk about the two, comparing and contrasting in terms of the what and also punishment, maybe one day. But hidayah to tawfiq is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When you know that one, yastalzimul ihtida, knowledge necessitates following application. So whoever knows must apply. Whoever knows must apply. So don't know and you fail to do. Whatever good, you know, do it. We want to continue from there, unless there is mawani. Unless there are mawani, what prevents you from applying. Mawani is a plural of mani'un. Not really obstacles as such. We have to overcome the obstacles in life. But al-mani'u has to be shari'i. What prevents you has to be justified. You are not able to do it because of mani'u shari'i. There is something to prevent you according to Sharia. You are unable to go for Hajj because of what? Of health reasons. But you have the money. Because of health reasons. You are unable to perform Salah. Why? Because you are unconscious. That is man ushari. Hugmiya alayh. Somebody has fainted. Is not aware. But if you're aware, you have to do it. You don't give a reason that, well, my clothes is not clean. No, you have to wear clean clothes. You know, you have to pray. Yeah, your clothes has to be clean. You go to washroom, don't come out after a few seconds. Just a few seconds, they see you out. And then you are going to pray. How will you pray? Few seconds. Even the Prophet used to go into washroom until people forgot about him. Or you will see you entering the washroom, in a blink of an eye, you are out. And we see you performing wudu, entering the masjid. How comes you are different from even the prophets? Drops of urine is still there and you are entering the masjid. That's not in our religion. And we enter the washroom, drops of urine are from the entrance. And then we wonder, how could that be? That's not in Islam. So, mawani, the reasons for you not to do it have to be shari. Not any reason that you bring justifications. I missed my salah because I woke up late. What time did you go to bed? You come to salah. And I've seen this happening this week. One brother was in Swaf right at the beginning of as-salah, he took out his miswak and he started brushing his teeth. When Imam went to ruku, Allahu Akbar, he went to ruku without even a takbiratul ihram. He went to ruku and he counted that rak'ah. That is jahal, ignorance. There is no salah for the one who does not read Al-Fatiha. The hadith is authentic. If you are there at the beginning of the salah and you wait for Imam to go to ruku intentionally and you join him at ruku, that rak'ah is not counted for you. Because this is not uzur shari. It's not uzur shari. You should brush your teeth during wudu. So, brushing your teeth is not a manual shari. You are in soft and you're brushing your teeth. And then you're not going to spit. Instead, you swallow that. That is not in our religion. So, manual shari, it has to be justified according to Sharia. So, what else we need to talk about here? I'm going to be very selective, not to describe everything here. And yeah, so let me, I'll go very fast and finish very fast so that we can listen to the questions bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. I move to the next page. Al-Quran قد دل على هذا قال تعالى وإذ قال موسى لقومه يا قوم لم تؤذونني وقد تعلمون أني رسول الله إليكم. I'm trying to avoid some of the things here because I want to remain very focused on this particular topic. So that's why I have to skip some of the things. You have to forgive me for that. These things will be quoted, inshallah, later when we refer to a different topic. These are all about Bani Israel, the subsequent paragraphs. And I did promise to talk about Bani Israel. So I'm skipping all these pages. But I want to highlight on the next page, the page that I have just mentioned, right before the end, the punishment that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave to Bani Israel in the dunya, which is rishawa. Or you can call it ritual. These are two concepts, same meaning. Ritual on rishawa. This is a cover. A cover meaning that their sight was covered. Their intellect was covered. So the intellect and the sight being covered, this is a punishment. This is a punishment. When the intellect is covered and the eyes are covered, you'll not be able to see, because you praise Allah based on what He has created, but you'll not be able to see what Allah has created in order to praise Him. You may see, but you'll not arrive at what you should arrive at. There's a shower. You read, but you don't arrive at guidance. There's a shower. Allah places a cover between you and the truth. When Allah places a cover between you and the truth, you never see. This is a long topic. Or the intellect is covered. You are not able to comprehend things. Things are not clear to you. Remember, we said al-bayan wa dilala are so important. When there's no clarity, you'll not be able to go to the next one. Things have to be clear to you in the first place. Allah punished the Bani Israel with that. He placed a seal on their hearts. For this reason, they did not get the guidance. And we have to avoid that condition. Don't let your sins become a shower, a cover, that you are not able to see the truth. The hawa nafs. Many people follow the hawa nafs, and they are not able to see the truth. They will argue. When you present the truth to them, they will argue to justify their wrongdoing, because there's a gishawa on their heart, a seal on their heart. When Allah places a seal on one's heart, nobody can remove it. Nobody can remove it. So that I need to explain. The subsequent page, Ibn Qayyim is explained to us the cover. And of course, we have done this before, so I don't want to also dwell on those paragraphs. Next one is, we read the Quran. And some of us, we cannot count how many times we have done the khatam. Many of us cannot count how many times we have done the khatam. But what have you got from all those khatam? How far have you gone in terms of guidance? Every khatam means is a step forward in terms of amal salih, in terms of understanding. So these khatam you have done, what have they led you to? This is the question you need to ask yourself. You read a complete chapter. What did you get from that chapter? If you have to ask those who are here, when you read Al-Baqarah, what did you get from Surah Al-Baqarah? Such a very important chapter. How did it change you? Surah Al-Baqarah can change your life completely. How did the Surah Al-Baqarah change you? If you want to know whether Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala granted you hidayah to tawfiq, you need to ask yourself. The ulama say, you don't wait until the end of the chapter to question yourself. It is every after the ayah you read. So when you finish reading the ayah, you pause and question yourself. Where? Aina ana? Where am I in regard to the understanding of this ayah? Where am I in regard to applying the message that is conveyed to me in this ayah? What are the mawani? What are the reasons for not doing it? So you need to always ask yourself, what are the mawani? What are the reasons for you not to do it? Is it because you don't have the means? Let's say remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala so much. What are the mawani for us not to remember Allah so much? If we are to ask ourselves, remembering Allah so much, as you are driving, you are alone. You couldn't remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I did share and I translated this letter on my Facebook, because majority do not understand Arabic. The first thing shaitan does is to stop your tongue from remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Your tongue does not remember him. The zikr on the lisan does not happen. When the zikr on the tongue does not happen, the limbs will not act in a way pleasing to Allah. Because shaitan knows the importance of zikrullah. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put Nabi Ayub in a condition you all know, the sickness did not affect his tongue. What could be the reason? Because he could continue doing the zikr with his lisan. So he continued to do zikr with his lisan. وَذْكُرُوا اللَّهَ كَثِيرًا. Remember Allah so much with your tongue. You should use your tongue to remember Allah so much. Then you'll be able to minimize the wrong you do with your tongue. Talking bad things will not happen if your tongue is used to remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You have the ability. So there are no mawani that you are stopped by anything. No, there's no mawani for that. On your bed, you can still do it. There are no mawani. So what is it that is preventing us? So if you have the means to do it, but you're not doing it, then know that shaitan may have succeeded in, preventing your tongue from doing it. You are not given that. What should you do? Istighfar. And the istighfar is a zikr. Seek forgiveness before it is late. It will be late one day. Whether you like it or not, one day it will be late. But it is not yet late. You still have time. Don't wait until it is late. You wish to have done it when you not have the opportunity to do it. There are ayat here which talk about, this condition where the heart is sealed. And I'm not going to, I can give you the ayat to read the surah, first surah, ayah 5. You can read that. You can read ayah 155, An-Nisa. An-Nisa. If you want to know the reasons for placing a seal on the tongue, not to remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. An-Nisa. Huh? So far on this page, I have Fussilat, ayah 5. And then I have An-Nisa, ayah 155. But Al-Isra is different. وَمَا أُوتِيتُ مِنَ الْإِلْمِ إِلَّا قَلِيلًا. It is not on the ceiling of the heart. Is referring to the ruh. The knowledge that we have regarding the ruh is limited. Then again, I have to skip some of these paragraphs because it is an elaboration of what I have done. All these pages are on guidance. But ayah 134 to 135, Surah Al-Baqarah, that is 343, 323, 24, sometimes 3 or is also written like this. So please refer to this particular page if you have 124, 125. I will read this ayah. in order to explain. But I'll go to the end, towards the end, or let me start from the beginning. وَإِذَا مَا أُنزِلَتِ سُورَةٌ فَمِنْهُمْ مَنْ يَقُولُ أَيُّكُمْ زَادَتْهُ هَذِهِ إِيمَانًا فَأَمَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا فَزَادَتْهُمْ إِيمَانًا وَهُمْ يَسْتَبْشِرُونَ وَأَمَّا الَّذِينَ فِي قُلُوبِهِمْ مَرَضٌ فَزَادَتْهُمْ رِجْسًا إِلَى رِجْسِهِمْ وَمَاتُوا وَهُمْ كَافِرُونَ. Every ayah you read in the Quran is supposed to increase your iman. What does it mean? The increase of iman. The increase of iman refers to the two types of hidayah I have just mentioned. Hidayah to tawfiq, hidayah to bayan. Every ayah you read in the Quran should lead you to more iman. And when we say more iman, we actually mean, number one, should increase your knowledge, your understanding of the reality. Iman implies knowledge, ma'rifah. So your knowledge should increase each time you read any ayah. If you read this ayah today and the same ayah you read tomorrow, your knowledge should increase. If you just read one ayah for the rest of your life, your knowledge should increase on the basis of that ayah, because there's no ending. One ayah will lead you to knowledge that is likened to an ocean. One ayah, every ayah of the Quran leads to an ocean of knowledge. So meaning that you will not be able to exhaust the message that is conveyed to you in that particular ayah. So number two, it should increase your iman. Also implies what? Your belief. Your belief, the belief does not increase. What increases is what? No. Your beliefs will not increase. What is it that increase? Your yaqeen. Yaqeen, certainty. The beliefs are known to all of us. What you are required to believe in is already mentioned in the Quran and Hadith. The list will not increase, but yaqeen increases. Your belief in the existence of Allah increases. What increases is the yaqeen, certainty. You become more certain. You become more certain of the promises of Allah. You believe in His promises. But each time you read the ayat of the Quran, your certainty increases. And you reach a level where you can see things happening, although they have not yet happened. You see as if things are happening when they have not yet happened. So that level is only reached by those people who keep on struggling and struggling. So the reality is there for you. Number three, Amal Swari, your virtuous deeds also increase. That is what Iman implies. Number four. What is number four? The protection you have increases. Because Iman implies protection. This is where taqwa comes in. Taqwa. You become more what? Cautious. Yeah, you become more cautious. So Iman implies a lot of things. So every ayah should lead you to this. So if there is anything missing, you need to ask yourself, what are the mawani? What are the things preventing you from having them? Why your knowledge does not increase? You need to find out why your yaqeen is not increasing, why your good deeds are not increasing. Even in Ramadan, you are the same. Your amal is not increasing. Why? What could be the reason? Why you don't protect yourself? Every time you fall into the same wrongdoing, every time something must be wrong. The Prophet said the believer does not fall in the same pit twice, who is not bitten by the same. If you talk about snake, you know, in this place, when you pass here, you are bitten by a snake, and you still get bitten by the snake, and you continue also being bitten by the same snake, something must be wrong. The same wrongdoing you are doing all this while. Why? The same wrongdoing you are repeating, something must be wrong. It means your reading of the Quran is not beneficial to you. So, fazadatuhum imana. Reading of the Quran is to increase your iman. Iman increases, but it also decreases. Wahum yastabshirun. When you read this, it will bring bishara to you. Bishara. What is bishara? Bishara is, is glad tidings. You are, just imagine, you are receiving the good news from your Lord, glad tidings. You are saddened and glad tidings come to you. So how you feel? When you read the Quran, you are going to get bishara. This is another benefit. Besides your iman increasing, you get bishara. وَأَمَّا الَّذِينَ فِي قُلُوبِهِمْ مَرَضٌ. But those who have sickness in their heart, فَزَادَتُهُمْ رِجِسًا إِلَى رِجِسِهِمْ. Their evils will increase. Even after reading the Quran, they continue to commit wrongdoings. They continue to commit wrongdoing. They are increasing their wrongdoings, accumulating wrongdoings. وَمَاتُوا وَهُمْ كَافِرُونَ. And they die in kufr. They die in kufr. We pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that this does not happen to us. وَلَا شَيْءٌ أَعْظَمْ فَسَادًا لِمَحَلُ الْعِلْمِ مِنْ صَيْرَاتِهِ بِحَيْثُ يَضِلُّ بِمَا يَهْتَدِي بِهِ. There are people who have, let's say you read the Quran, but instead you are getting far away from Allah. There's somebody who is not reading it, but you read it and you get more far away from Allah. You start to misinterpret the Quran, misinterpret even the hadith. We have individuals who misinterpret the Quran, and they get, into dalal instead. So instead of being guided, they are being misguided, and they are using the Quran. We have them. Just like the person who was arrested in 90s in Johor, having 9 wives, a member of our camp group. When they asked him why he had 9 wives at the same time, he said because Allah says masna, 2, wasulasa, and 3, 2 plus 3, waruba plus 4 is 9. So we are allowed to marry 9. He is reading the Quran, using the Quran to increase his dalala, misguidance, misinterpreting the Quran. They are misinterpreting the concept of al-qadr wal-qadar, justifying their wrongdoing using al-qadr wal-qadar. These are the people we talk about. They quote the Quran in order to justify their wrongdoing. فَزَادَتْهُمْ رِجْسًا إِلَى رِجْسِهِمْ, and they increase in wrongdoing. So make sure that you don't belong to these people. Get more guided. The Quran is to lead you to more guidance. What you couldn't do before, now you do it. You can see your success in life. You're not the same person as last year. What would happen if you died last year? Would it be different from now? Maybe last year you were more guided. If you died last year, would it be better? Yeah, you'll get into Jannah easily. But this year could be worse. You have increased in wrongdoing. But Allah gave you opportunity to repent. And this did not happen. You need to be very careful. This could be istidraj. It could be istidraj. If your life is not improving, every day, something must be wrong. So I will not, I think we are going to stop here. We don't want to end late. We have a number of things to talk about. So yeah, I think I would just stop at the first paragraph of 344. قال بعض السلف كنا نستعين على حفظ العلم بالعمل به. This is very important. It's a very important statement for us to take with us. Kunna, we use. These are the Salaf, our righteous predecessors, our ancestors, as Salaf Salih. They use it to say, Kunna, during our time, we use, and we're telling those who came after. We used to do what we call nasta'inu ala hifzul ilm bila amal bi. So hifzul amal. Hifzul ilm. Maybe this is our first time to hear this. Hifzul ilm, preserving knowledge. We all know that is done by writing it. We preserve knowledge by writing it. The ulama of the past, they did not preserve knowledge by writing it. They use it to preserve it by al-amalu bih, by acting on it. So preservation of knowledge is by acting on it, not by writing. Not everybody is going to read what you wrote. I don't think your children are reading what you write here. When you go home, I don't think they read what you write. Nowadays, most youth are not interested in reading. They don't read. They have lost that culture of reading. But they can see. They can see. So if you want to share the knowledge with your family, act on it. What you get from here, go home and they see you changed. They will ask you, how comes you changed? Before you use it to shout. Nowadays you don't shout. Yeah, because I have learned that shouting is not good. That one they will take. What you never used to do, they start seeing you doing it. Yes, that will impress them. not what you write. That is how our Salaf use it to preserve knowledge, by acting on it. فَتَرُكُ الْعَمَلِ بِالْعِلْمِ مِنْ أَقْوَى الْأَسْبَابِ فِي ذِهَابِهِ وَنِسْيَانِهِ. Knowledge is lost and also forgotten when it is not acted on. When knowledge is not acted on, is lost. That is why Imam Malik, Amal Ahlul Madina is so important. Amal Ahlul Madina. He prefers this to a hadith which is Amal Ahlul Madina. The Amal of the people of Medina their deeds. Imam Malik always preferred the Amal Ahlul Madina to Hadith Ahad, the Hadith reported by one individual. He preferred it to that Hadith, even if it is authentic, because the Amal is always preserved, the Amal Ahlul Madina. That's how they preserved the knowledge. The Prophet ﷺ showed the people what to do. That is what we call a sunnah. So following the sunnah is one way to preserve knowledge, by acting on the knowledge. These are the practices. People inherit culture because they see you doing it. How many of you have read the culture that you follow? I do believe that you just see people doing and you do. I don't think that you read a particular book in order to follow a culture that you follow. I don't think so. The same thing goes to Islam. It is the application of knowledge that your children should see and what people should see. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, لِمَ تَقُولُونَ مَا لَا تَفْعَلُونَ. What do you say what you never do? What do you say what you never do? So what you say, do it. Yeah. That is how knowledge is preserved. فَإِنَّ الْعِلْمَ يُرَادُ لِلْعَمَلِ فَإِنَّهُ بِمَنْزِلِهِ الدَّلِيلُ لِلسَّائِرِ فإذا لم يسر خلف الدليل لم ينتفع بدلالته فنزل منزلة من لم يعلم شيئا لأن من علم ولم يعمل بمنزلة الجاهل الذي لا يعلم كما أن من ملك ذهبا وفضة وجاء وأري ولم يشتري منها ما يأكل ويلبس فبمنزلة الفقير العادي. And this is very important. What is it telling you? Your dalil in life, a dalil. Nowadays we use ways as a dalil. Even aircrafts, they use a dalil. What is dalil? Yeah. So it is supposed to show you where to go. You have to refer to this ad-dalil. So it's telling us that فَإِنَّ الْعِلْمَ يُرَادُ لِلْعَمَلِ. What is meant by knowledge is amal. The two are synonymous. There is no amal, there is no knowledge. If there is no amal salih, consider that you have no knowledge. Knowledge must be manifested. فَإِنَّهُ بِمَنْزِلَةِ الدَّلِيلِ لِلسَّائِرِ. Every sa'ir, every traveler, a sa'ir. One of the scholars, rahimahullah, he wrote a book which is now entitled what is it, of the traveler? What is the title? No? Umdatu Salik in Arabic. Umdatu Salik. Umdatu Salik. Umdatu Salik. The reliance of the traveler. How many of you have read this book? How many of you have read this book? Take some time to read it. In one day you can finish it. Umdatu Salik is there. You can find it on internet, translated into English. The reliance of the traveler, Umdatu Salik. And you need to have the dalil. That is your dalil. That is your menu to show you where you're going. This is your ways, your GPS. Yeah. So knowledge is is your guidance. So it's just like you have the knowledge, but you have no amal. It's just like somebody traveling without, without what? Yeah. Yeah. Will you arrive at the right destination? So, فَإِذَا لَمْ يَسِرْ خَلْفَ الدَّلِيلِ لَمْ يَنْتَفِ بِالْجِلَالَةِ. If it does not benefit you, you are like somebody who has got a lot of gold and silver, but is starving, is naked, he cannot even buy a cloth. So it's like somebody who doesn't have it. You have knowledge, you are not guided, you are like somebody who does not have the knowledge. There's no difference. What is the difference between us who come here every week and those who never come? Those who never come, and they're not seeking knowledge elsewhere. So that's why Musa alayhi salam, وَمِنْ هَذَا قَوْلُ مُوسَى لِقَوْمِهِ أَتَتَّخِذُنَا هُزُوًا قَالَ أَعُوذُ بِاللَّهِ أَنْ أَكُونَ مِنَ الْجَاهِلِينَ. Al-Baqarah 67. Musa suffered with his people. He suffered a lot with his people. One day I'll talk about them in one complete lesson. They were jahil. And Musa said, A'udhu billahi an akuna min al-jahilin. This should be part of our dua. When you make a dua, also say, Allahumma inni a'udhu bika an akuna min al-jahilin. Allahumma inni a'udhu bika an akuna min al-jahilin. It's a very important dua. You'll be praying to Allah to protect you from those who have knowledge but they don't apply. They have knowledge but they don't apply. Allahumma inni a'udhu bika. I seek your protection and akuna from being, and akuna from being min al-jahilin. Al-jahilin, among those who have knowledge but they don't apply, and those who don't seek knowledge. They're jahil. Because we are coming to the end of this page, so let us finish it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Khuzil afwa. This is very important also for us to take on. 199 Surah Al-Araf. Khuzil afwa. In every situation, forgive. Forgive. Forgive the jahil. Just forgive them. This is what Allah is recommending you to do. Forgive. Wa'amur bil urf. And tell people to do what is right. Don't tell them to do what is wrong. Oh, what did your husband do? Oh, just ask for divorce. you shouldn't forgive him. Yeah, we have those people. They encourage the divorce. If I were you, I would have asked for divorce a long time ago. He does not tell people to do what is right. He is not among those who reconcile the people when they have troubles in life. He's not among them. وَأَعْرِضْ عَنِ الْجَاهِلِينَ. Don't be with those who are jahilin. So, who are the jahilin? The ones who are not doing this. Those who never forgive. Those who never advise people to do what is right. They are among the jahilin. With this, we end today's class. Our next will be page 345 بإذن الله تعالى. اللهم ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم. اللهم اجعل جمعنا هذا جمعا مرحوما تفرقا من بعده تفرقا معصوما ولا تدع فينا شقيا ولا محروما برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. صلى الله على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين والحمد لله.